Hey, here are 5 stupid things I've noticed about the History Channel. The glaring lack of history. Remember when the History Channel used to be nothing but footage of Hitler just walking around? Those were the days, weren't they? I mean, sure, it was all the same history over and over and over again, but at least it was history. These days, you're no more likely to find history-related content on the History Channel than you are to learn something from the Learning Channel, or see a music video on MTV, or see something artistic and or entertaining on A&E. And come to think of it, none of the names of cable channels really mean shit anymore, do they? How long do you figure before Comedy Central debuts its first original drama series? The troubling prominence of pseudo-history. Even before the History Channel threw in the towel on history-related programming altogether, there were problems. In addition to shows about World War II, or the American Civil War, or the American Revolution, or more shows about World War II, there were also series like Ancient Aliens, or the UFO Files, or Monster Quest, which presented pseudo-historical and pseudo-scientific claims mostly without serious skepticism, heavily promoted and aired in prominent primetime time slots. And pseudo-history and pseudo-science aren't the only things of which the History Channel has long been overly fond. There's also the uncritical treatment of conspiracy theories. In 2003, the History Channel aired 3 new episodes of The Men Who Killed Kennedy, which turned out to be so far-fetched and created such a backlash that the channel actually apologized for airing them and permanently pulled them from the programming schedule. But that's merely the worst of many possible examples. Series like History's Mysteries or Conspiracy would often feature paranoid conspiracy theorists like David Icke as expert witnesses, presenting them with little in the way of rebuttal, and in a way that suggested that the conspiracist and historical views were both equally likely to be true. Which is a shame, because a channel called the History Channel would seem to be the ideal home for a show dedicated to exposing and debunking conspiracy theories rather than propping them up. But I guess none of that matters now anyway, I suppose. The History Channel has no use for either type of history, pseudo or actual, these days, ever since the transition to reality TV. Who wants to watch documentaries about history when they can watch reality shows about people who run a pawn shop, or people who cut down trees, or people who take things from other people's garbage? Look, I totally get the commercial reasons for the format change. Reality shows are cheap and popular. It's not that hard to figure out. But wasn't there anyone who was pitching a concept that would have tied in with history? National Geographic did one about Civil War reenactors. What about something like that? Or people who do living history, like at Colonial Williamsburg. Or, fuck, I don't know, a behind-the-scenes look at a Renaissance festival. I'm not saying I would watch any of those. They all sound horrible, but at least the name of the channel would still make sense. Kinda. The Bible. Sure, there's The Bible, the big hit miniseries that begins with the greatest disclaimer ever. This program endeavors to stay true to the spirit of the book, followed by a heads up about all the violence. We know some of what you're about to see is going to seem really fucked up, but don't blame us. We're only adapting what is actually in the Bible, the producers seem to be saying. But the History Channel's fascination with the Bible goes back much, much further than this miniseries, all the way to the early days of the channel, when Bible-related programming was one of the few respites offered from the original all Nazis all the time format. Shows such as Mysteries of the Bible gave the same credulous, uncritical treatment to stories like Samson and Delilah or David and Goliath as was given elsewhere to conspiracy theories. And you know what? I didn't really mind. It was mostly entertaining. I always enjoy hearing about what horrible people the heroes of the Bible are. They're all liars and scoundrels and schemers and adulterers. Really lurid, lowest common denominator type stuff. In fact, it doesn't seem all that different from most of reality TV now that I think about it. Maybe the format change makes sense after all. The hardest part is only picking 5. Catch you next time.